And now we'll look at defending against a high attack, which is a solar plexus level or above. First we have the large circle from the yin-yang symbol tracing, which can also be likened to the movement of the upper hand in the wave hands like clouds. So there are, of course, again, numerous techniques you can use for the counterattack. Notice that in using the yin-yang symbol large circle or wave hands for the block, I also want to be sure and cover the elbow so that the attacker does not fold the elbow and continue the attack with the elbow. It would look like this if he did. So in order to prevent that, when we use the large serpent seal, I will cover the elbow. In this case, this nicely sets up fist under elbow as your counterattack. Now against a high attack, we can also use the upper part of the circling hand in block brush knee. So when using that hand, it's best if you can use it against the opponent's opposite arm in the attack. And that would look like this. So you punch with your left hand. However, if you use the circling arm and block brush knee against the same side attack, it will still work. Even if your opponent is quick to punch with the other hand, you can see that you still have a good counterattack, which would look like this. If the attack is, say, shoulder level or higher, and someone wants to punch your face or your throat, you can use the blocking technique from Fair Lady Works, the shuttle. Now, beginners probably haven't seen Fair Lady yet. They haven't got that far in the form, but basically the block looks like this, and then the strike comes here. So now, if Rich were to punch with his left hand, I can block, lift his arm up, and this exposes the rib cage and the armpit for attack. He punches with his left hand. I want to sit back and increase the distance again, so I'm going to shift my weight back, but now I'm going to shift my weight forward as I strike. Now you notice I'm going to use my forearm in this block to spiral up Rich's arm to get above his elbow. Because if I get above his elbow, I can control his arm and elbow much better than if I am below his elbow. So if I go below his elbow, it might look like this, enabling him to fold his elbow and continue his attack. So as I block, I want to spiral and slide upward like so. And now he cannot use either his fist or his elbow to attack me, because I have the control here. If you use the large circle from yin-yang symbol tracing, or if you like the upper hand from wave hands like clouds, you can use it against a one-arm punch, or you can use it against a high push, or an attempted choke with two hands. It doesn't matter whether the opponent uses one hand or two, it still works. So if Rich were to come and try to push me in the shoulders, when you use the large circle from yin-yang symbol tracing, or the way hands like clouds, ideally you want to apply it in a way that seals the opponent. For example, if Rich punches with his right hand, I want to use my right arm to block and seal him. I have to cover his elbow, of course, but now I have him sealed so that he cannot use his other hand to punch me, he cannot reach me with his other hand. If, however, in the heat of the moment you use the technique wrongly and use it against the, well, not necessarily wrongly, but less advantageously against the same side hand, it still will work like this. So if Rich punches with his right hand and I do this, now suppose I'm quick and I get him here and break his elbow. But if he is quick and does a right and left punch, I will have to do this. It still works. Now it's also possible, if you block same side hand, to use the movement single whip as your defense. And that would look like this. So if Rich punches with his right hand, and I block like this, now single whip, I'm going to use what would be the hook hand as a pluck at the same time as I turn my waist to the pluck. I use the same energy to strike his chest with this hand. Let's show the other side of that. If he punches with his right hand, oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's good. That's it. That's it. It's so fast.
Okay. Yeah, that still works. You're very quick. Just be careful with your training partners. Okay.